on SEO to the double TV funnel and these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this. Tony T, yes, Ramon SEO to the double TV funnel and these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.
And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam for Wednesday, January 10th. Get ready for another great day of sports betting. We're going to preview NBA action, college basketball, and NHL 3 games for tonight. And we have a pretty nice card and a nice crew coming in here. Almost 24 of you here already. So good morning and hello, and thanks for stopping by. We should have a decent show with a nice card to talk about as we get ready to roll into the weekend with the NFL playoffs. But we got a few days before, and we can talk about today's card. Hello. Let me say hi to some folks here. I don't know what the headlines are necessarily, but we can talk about a few things from yesterday's action. First, I want to say good morning and hello to Gerardo, who was hanging out with me last night in some random chat rooms across YouTube. Thank you, Gerardo. Always great to have your contributions as always. And, well, back to work a little bit here for Gerardo today with some of our action, but nonetheless, we're more than just the major sports when we got Gerardo around. Thanks as always, sir, for your contributions, especially on those middle of the game hockey scores. Hello to Jason today, and Chad is here today, rolling with it. And we have also want to say hello to Stephen Downey here today, as well as Perky is ready to go. Percent Better is here as well today. How about Salty? NHL totals did well. Hey, we had the salami. You guys have your salami? I had my salami last night. Needed the last 2 games to get there. We got over those 63.5 goals, didn't we? With some numbers last night. And who else? Talking about Chad, talking about Darko. I could listen to Darko all morning going off on these guys and his accent. Not making fun of him at all. Just, really giving the refs the business. 23-2. We got Scotty Barnes, one of the best players in the league. He's going to the rim hard every time. He goes to the free throw line 2 times. I hope I don't get in trouble for that. I like Darko. What's going to happen today when that massive matchup comes up today with the Spurs and the Pistons? We've been waiting for that one all season. Russell's here today. Hi, Russell. Nice to see you. He didn't like the officiating either, it looks like. Timmy Tushu here today. Thomas Lewis also today. And here's Blake as well. Matt's here today. I want to say hello to Harley Morris joining us from West Virginia. We might ask what's been going on with the hoop, but we're not going to worry about it too much. What we're going to do is go over to Tony'sPicks.com for one thing here in just a few moments, see who did well yesterday on the team, and also maybe just talk about a few headlines from the games last night, especially the big hockey card, and see how we did. In the NBA, we did have a premium pick winner with the Memphis Grizzlies and the Dallas Mavericks game to go under. We also had some winners on the show yesterday here, especially in the NHL. We talked about that Grand Salami. So that gave us some winners on some of these totals, but we also had the Seattle Kraken. We had the Tampa Bay Lightning, the comeback against the Kings. We had the over Sharks and Leafs premium pick winner on Vancouver yesterday. We also had the over here on the show in that one. We had a premium pick winner with the Winnipeg Jets and Columbus Blue Jackets game to go under. How about the Winnipeg Jets right now? Are they the best team in the NHL? They haven't given up more than 3 goals in a game in seems like a month or more. At this point, these guys are hot. We also had the Ducks and the Predators over here on the show. We had the Blackhawks on the puck line here on the show. Senators Flames over, another show winner. Lots of nice winners yesterday. And college basketball kind of took center stage a little bit. If you enjoyed some of the college action yesterday, Nebraska, the big upset of Purdue, they stormed the court. Purdue took 33 three-pointers in the game, and they only managed 72 points. Nebraska crushed them. Iowa State upset Houston, gave them their first loss of the season. They jumped out to a 14-0 lead, 2 touchdowns in the first couple of minutes. They held on 57-53. Kentucky over Missouri. Look out for Kentucky, man. They've got a bunch of freshmen going on that team right now. My favorite game might have been the Western Michigan Northern Illinois game. That one went overtime. Texas knocked off Cincinnati in the game of the night, 74-73. It was Auburn drubbing A&M 66-55. Did you guys have anything in college ball last night? Few more stepping in. We got 3 dozen of you here, so we'll get to rolling to the picks. But I want to go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Here's our tops here today. Good morning. Appreciate you guys trying to hang in here with my old man eye, I think, at this point. And maybe I'm just getting up too early in the morning, but hey, I want to be here with you guys. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life, to meet new friends like you guys. Blake talking about Mike Vrabel. Here's the thing, right? Blake, and I was thinking about you and all our Tennessee group when that certainly we knew about it, but thinking about it more and looking back on it, one thing when I'm looking for the best coaches, I kind of look to who covers the spreads, right? And everybody talking about how Vrabel, how good he is as a underdog coach, right? He wins in situations that maybe they weren't supposed to win. Blake says, not happy with ownership. And we saw who, a very, well-crafted, thought-out, politically correct statement by the owner, but still, nonetheless, a popular coach that kind of represents the good community of Nashville. So, well, they'll just have to battle on through that and see what happens moving forward. Maybe they want to put their own signature on it. All right. Appreciate everyone coming in today with it's a big NBA card. We know that for sure. Let's go. I'm going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see what's going on over there. Check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. All right. Well, I know who is hot. I wasn't trying to I had a huge day yesterday. 11 wins and 2 losses in premium pick winners yesterday. Most of the damage coming in college basketball. Really, supposed to be my specialty. I think we'll get rolling here. Same thing last year for me in college. Uh, Conference season is when I really started to crush. So let's hope it keeps happening here. But I had an 11-2 day, almost the best on the site. I guess units wise, the old lucky 888 right there. If you believe in Chinese gambling superstition, but Danny Dimes is actually better than I was. Look at Danny Dimes, 7-0. Good job, Danny, plus 768. Probably Samba Murdy up was 11-5-1. Joseph Schultz 5-1. Ruben Marlborough, come to Marlborough country. He went 3-0. Daniel Walasachuk continues to smash. 3-0 yesterday. Tiffany Mance, 67%. Collins Brown, a winning day. Mark Butterscotch Eubanks, a winning day. Hollywood Sam won his only play on Tuesday. Nick Lagaretos went 2-1, as did Jerry Lewis. Tim Irwin won his only play. Gene got picks. Gene got winners. 4-2 yesterday. Ralph Raymond yesterday, 4-3. The OG Cappers VIP 2-1. Look at all these winners yesterday at Tony'sPicks.com. We've expanded the roster. We've expanded the winning. 2-1 for Nick yesterday. I had premium pick winners in college basketball with Georgetown yesterday. I had Kansas State over West Virginia, with all due respect to our West Virginia friends there. They got the wrong background up here. I'm not doing an MMA show. What's going on? Let me fix that. There we go, you guys. Also, premium pick winners for me in college basketball included Colorado State, Boise State under. I had Notre Dame and Georgia Tech over. I had the Auburn Tigers. I had Air Force and Nevada under. Big day for me in college ball. When you're over at Tony'sPicks.com, you can check out our premium picks. Like I said, I went 11-2. Hope you guys jumped on board. Maybe some of the subscribers or package purchasers are in here. Thank you very much. Give you the old hearts. Hope it's working right now. And appreciate you guys. Did it work? Let's see it work. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Appreciate you guys for any purchasers that are in here right now, and we're going to keep it rolling today. In our premium pick section, you'll find our 3-packs, 5-packs, and 7-packs from our team of handicappers, including myself. I've got a 5-pack right now up there in college basketball for today. Tony's got a 3-pack there in pro basketball, his Powerhouse Wednesday 3-pack. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. That will save you 20% off all premium pick packages. And there it is for Friday. 5 top plays right now for $25. And, well, after a day like yesterday, I might have a few more on this big college card. Click on the Premium Picks tab. There you'll find all the handicappers. You find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. All of our packages that are single day packages, the 3-packs, 5-packs, 7-packs, even the best bets are all profit guaranteed. So if you purchase the picks here from our team of handicappers and it doesn't show a profit, you do get credits back to your account. You're always going to end with a winning experience here at Tony'sPicks.com. You can use those credits for another handicapper. You can roll with me again if I didn't come through, but we're going to come through again. A bunch of free winners hopefully coming up in just a moment, kind of like yesterday. But if you're ready to get my best plays, they're over at Tony'sPicks.com. Got to be honest there. I start with the best, and then the rest come here on the show. And appreciate you guys for listening to that. Nobody lights up the leaderboard like I do, you guys. It'll only be a matter of time. You've been here with me. I've been with Tony. We've for 2 years now. Pretty much always rolling on top of the leaderboards. So mostly because all I do is sit here and look at games all day. Look at me. All right. few more hellos and we'll get rolling. Want to say hello to Mike. Rolling with the sounds like he's rolling with the biddy. So it sounds like he's shorting the biddy. Is that what I'm seeing there? I don't want to get it wrong. Obviously, the controversy yesterday with the SEC tweeting out about the Bitcoin ETF regulations or something like that. I don't know what was going on, but it sounded like a good time to get in a little bit low there. All right, who else we got? Anybody else I can say hi to? Fernando. Ken Jackson. Hello to Ken. Says Duke went under yesterday in their matchup. Yeah, against Pitt. Yeah, we had a yeah. Ken was probably here. Hey, the Fix is in. Hello, nice to see the Fix is in. He was over with me in another chat room yesterday. Great wisdom here from the Fix. I'm going to call. I know the Fix is in. That's a lot of words, and it's a clever gambling statement. But the Fix, I might just say the Fix because I love the Fix. I love the Fix. If you know, but it was with two X's. Do you guys know what the Fix is? Saved by Zero. Saved by Zero. All right. Blake still going off on the situation. Bill wants to know about the early game. Maybe we'll get that one in, Billy. We'll get that one in with the early start today in college ball. I didn't put it on the official preview sheet. I picked 5 games, one from each conference. And Russell, hello. Nice to see you. I don't know if you're talking to me or someone in the chat. I'm in Las Vegas. Didn't I say that at the beginning? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to, I have a spiel written down. I just don't use it. Nicholas Handy's here bringing the good vibes. But I'm in the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, home of the Super Bowl. All right, PZ. Thank you, PZ. Oh, that's nice of you to say. We were on another show, and I gave out the Creighton Blue Jays. Probably should have had that one as a premium, too. Grayson's here today. He wants a Deegan parlay. We got some plays here for sure. Tell you what, I picked 5 games. There was one of them. I don't know who I'm picking when I came on the show. I said, you know what? I'm going to wait to see what the chat has. I won't tell you which one it is, but I might just roll with the chat in one of my college picks today. And that might do it. Just want to see. I didn't cover the soccer quite yet. I know we got some games today, including more EFL with Liverpool and Fulham Cup action. Spain Super Cup's got Atletico and Real Madrid, and Copa Italia's got Atalanta and Milan. So even though it is a slow day, you've got top matchups in cup action. Not always going to have the best players out there in some of those, but Lazio and Roma also gets it going early. All right. Let's go back over and get started with some of our previews here anyway. Oh, get comfy here with you guys, and keep you abreast. Anything else on the docket? Last chance to fire on some of the other some of the other news out there. I don't know if there's anything other than maybe Vrabel. The Jaguars fired a bunch of assistants. Bieniemy will interview for the Washington job. Trying to think of what else was going on. Obviously, the little bit of thing with Jameis Winston getting a late touchdown, or getting one of his team Williams a late touchdown, and that controversy with the head coaches and all that. All right, but we want to get started here, I think, with the show and the previews. And here we go. Yeah, and we'll try to bring that. I want to try to bring a little bit more international content, and I think we'll get more people in there as well. All right. Jeff, let's go. Jeff, come on. We had some good Blake says, here's the thing, Blake, about maybe Mark Davis and maybe Pierce staying with the Raiders. Maybe. I think if the Raiders can't land Harbaugh, I think they make a pitch for Harbaugh. And if they can't land Harbaugh, why leave if you're Harbaugh other than he might thrive off of that stuff kind of if he starts to get in this hot water a little bit with the NCAA, fighting it all over some archaic rules too. Don't forget, if you want to go off on a little bit of the sign stealing and cheating scandal that a lot of teams do anyways because of the fact that college uses all those crazy signs and different coaches when they should be just going to the electronic devices and the headsets or whatever, I would think. Let's go, Russell. Let's go. All right. I'm trying to just be awake here, my brother. Let's go. Well, look, there's nothing I can do about the schedule. I always go in rotation order. We just have to start the show on a real downer. But let's try to pump it up with Darko, or with Darko, with the Pistons. I'm thinking of Darko Milicic, I think. Where does that come at? Where did that come from? With the Pistons taking on the Spurs. Not the best matchup of the year, certainly, but we could find a storyline, certainly, in this matchup with these two teams, given what they've done this season, right? All right. I kind of rushed into it here and wasn't quite ready, to be honest with you. So give me just 1 second to catch up. I know we want to go fast and get these. I don't know. It's not all about my picks. It's about you getting your picks on screen and getting them showing up here. That's what we do here on the Morning Steam. So let's talk about this one with the Spurs and the Pistons. Man, the Pistons are the ones taking action here. Certainly, right now it's down to 2.5, and the total 238.5. As this one's gone up just a little bit here today. You got for San Antonio, they've had a pretty good run over the Pistons of late, but maybe San Antonio, we think of them being down. It was only a few years ago, really. They were kind of having still that San Antonio success, even overachieving maybe a little bit as the decline started to wear on. Of course, they're going to be that way, I would think. People starting to give Pop a little bit of a hard time. Like maybe he doesn't know how to coach his big star. Maybe they should be better than they are. Maybe that's a little bit difficult for me to swallow. But when you got two teams here with a combined 8 wins and 64 losses, and this one, I don't know which direction you guys necessarily want to go here. Detroit has gone over in 7 of their last 9 games. They might be San Antonio. This will only be the second time all season that they've been favored. They did cover the only other time they were favored this season. The total's gone over in 4 of the last 5 games when they've met here in Detroit. That's pretty long sample size. Detroit 5-11 against the spread at home this season, 14-19 as an underdog overall. These two teams producing quite a few overs, certainly this season. They're a combined 44 and 27 to the over, including Detroit 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Detroit's actually been favored in 3 games this season. This wouldn't be one of them, and it was way early on too when they were before the record-setting losing streak. So they're actually 23-11 to the over. As an underdog. So, no, I don't think. Maybe they're only favored in 1 game, actually. Maybe it was 0. I think I was just going off the top of my head. All right, let's get a few picks from you guys of this matchup. PZ got that Eurobaskets. I'll get the Eurobasket Steam in there. That's what I'll do for my contribution anyway. And Percent Better's got some stats. Maybe you guys can I'm not going to get too into it, but I'll leave it up there for a second. You guys can digest it. That's the kind of contributions I'm looking for, not just your picks, but if you want to put information that people can consume here. Maybe I'm just too tired to read it, percent better, but it looks very, very well thought out and put together. So I'm ready to go with your info. Chad's on the Pistons plus the points here. Says this might be the spot. Russell's on the money line in this one. And Russell likes the coaching situation, maybe the fix. Says he might go over in this one. So, all right. Rodney. No, come on, Rodney. It's a professional basketball game. Bill's got a prop for us. Thomas is on Detroit here. And what did I make you call the gamblers helpline, right? Hello, gamblers helpline. I need a 3-team parlay. Is that the way you're saying? You said call and you need help. All right. Russell talking about the injuries here today. See if we can get. I don't know if it's a serious injury, a major injury report, other than Cade Cunningham certainly being out right now. Did look like maybe it did affect Isaiah Stewart, also out here for a little bit of an extended period with a toe injury. And Zach Collins out right now indefinitely with a turned ankle, it looks like. All right. Thomas says he likes unders here today. Viral Video is here. Wow, what an honor to have Viral Video stopping by and saying hello like old times. Hi, Viral. Man, Viral, talk about like the first shows. Viral was there. And I know you're busy, Viral, my friend, but always good to see you. All right. That looks like maybe it. Thomas says Wembanyama's got a minutes restriction. All right. Let's get ready to make a call. I'll make a call in this one. Ooh. Man, this college board's got the action flying fast and furious here today. Wow. All right. Russell says this one is a coin flip. Well, maybe, yeah, but the Spurs are still favored. Widely reported steam did come in on the under in this one at 239.5. We're looking at mostly 238.5 right now. And I'll go under with the Spurs and the Pistons today as my selection here on the show. Feels a little uncomfortable laying the points there with the Spurs. And obviously, look, the line was even a little bit. I saw earliest number was 4. Now, let me see where I can't track it down now. I have 4 written down here. Maybe that was off of my estimations a little bit, because I see a bunch of 3.5s out there, certainly from some early numbers. All right, nobody wants to talk about this one for very much longer. Let's take the under here. All right, well, will we get a record-setting total here today in this one with the Wizards and the Pacers? Feels like, these are those two teams to a certain extent. Talk about these crazy totals this year, and here you have the Pacers and the Wizards. Now the Wizards aren't quite like the Pacers. The Pacers are 24-12 to the over this season, 15-5 to the over. I just start with a total because it's always so startling to see that big number. Washington, though, just 26-16 to the over, or 20-16 to the over so far this season. Indiana has won 7 of their last 8 games, although the loss, we know what it was, a game against Boston here just the other night, but they came back to beat them. Remember, 2 nights ago, 133-131 is a 3.5-point favorite, so the Pacers keep up their pace, playing well. Total's gone over in 10 of the last 14 games in this series. Also, the total's gone under in 4 of Washington's last 6 games on the road. Even the Pacers are kind of slowing down here a little bit over the last 10 games. They've only produced 4 overs as well, but still, the Pacers are that team at this point that continues to produce massive overs. These two teams have already met twice this season, and they went over. Over this number anyway. The last one was one of those big numbers back on December 15th. Remember, it was 260 on that night, or at least the closer was, and the game finished right on 260. The first meeting here back in October at Indiana was 143 to 120, 263 points, and the total that day was 235. So, could it happen here today? Get your comments going in this one. Washington's on that losing streak too, don't forget. So for all of Indiana's success, Washington hasn't been winning games at all. And thanks, Fix. Yeah, maybe we should not bury the lead, right? Thanks, Fix. If anything, we should be talking about Halliburton, of course. Having left that game the other night. Fortunately, I mean, he will miss this one. He's going to miss some time. Never want to, fortunately, about an injury, but it is a hamstring injury and not, a knee damage or even a torn. The way they were carrying him, I mean, it took like feel like the whole arena was carrying that guy out, but still, hopefully, just missing a short amount of time here. Here's Russell will take the points in this one. And Pacers played well, obviously, without him in that game and ended up still winning the game. And Pacers first half. Hello to Kev Cook. Speaking of, Speaking of old times, Kev Cook. Man, appreciate it, sir. Great to see you. Wow, got some old schoolers here. We say old school because, a year or two, whatever it's been, but feels like old times here today. All right. Yeah. Okay, Thomas here on the pace, maybe. Yeah, Fernando. Well, you know what? I mean, it does feel maybe they rally. The old rally around the injured player type of theme. Maybe is what it may. It does feel like he is the type of player. When you have, here's the thing about that is so impressive, right? About I don't need to tell you guys, but the thing about Halliburton is the type of numbers, right? When you're talking about these, ungodly assist numbers, right? And you talk about team player. The guy can score really well. We know that. I mean, he feels like he could be even an elite scorer if he wanted to be. But this man can have 20 assists. I mean, and that's insane in itself. So I think that's what my takeaway is most from the Halliburton injury. I don't want to dwell too much on a player not playing today, but in discussing his impact overall with the team. So yeah, they did play well. I would expect. Look, some teams. This is still a young team too that probably relies heavily on that contribution. Is what it feels like to be. So we'll see. We'll see moving forward without him. And I don't know, does it affect you guys necessarily in this game today? All right, let me get the numbers going here. I know what I'm doing in this one. All right. And for me, it's going to be make sure I want to make my call correctly here. Yeah, Fernando. Well, it was 100 133, 131, I think is what it was. All right. I might be flipping coins on this one. I'm gotta be reserving maybe the total here in today's game to be frank about it. So all right. I'm going to go ahead and still take the Pacers in this one and lay the points, even without Halliburton. Just not seeing enough from the Wizards here at this point. The fix does still, just like still what the Pacers continue to do. We'll give Washington that. I mean, 11-8-1 against the spread on the road. Pretty nice. But Pacers still 21-16 against spread overall. They've covered 7 of their last 10 games. Thomas says go under. All right. And also Pacers 12-8 against the spread at home. But Washington definitely doing a nice job here with some covers on the road. All right. Mike says a lot of unders today. Let's continue on here with the Kings and the Hornets in Charlotte, where Charlotte has won 5 of the last 6 times the Kings have come into play, and also the Hornets have covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams here in Charlotte over the last 5 or 6 years. I say it like that because I don't go back and research every one. When I say the 5 or 6 year, 4 or 5 year range, we always have to deal with the half a season in a bubble. So don't go back and look at all the matchups that occurred. Remember, the schedule even got changed a little bit. So there was 1 year in there where all these series didn't meet all their same quota. So I, look back certainly at recent history between almost every matchup, but don't always know if it was played in the bubble or, you could look into it, but hey, all these games, I'm trying to do every game like that. No one else does either, apparently. All right, here's Fix already coming in. He's got Malik Monk Day. Monk is spectacular, man, isn't he? Sacramento's won 5 of their last 7 games on the road. They've also covered 5 of their last 7 games on the road. Sacramento 10-6 against the spread on the road. Charlotte, they've been a bit of a money burner. 13-19 against the spread, 6-8 against the spread at home, 13-16 against the spread as an underdog. The Kings have been a solid under, certainly this season on the road, 5-11 to the under. Charlotte 4-6 to the under in their last 10 games overall. All right, and there's a percent better giving us some more data. Let you guys digest that. And Fernando is on the Kings here. You talking about that Charlotte losing streak who was their only win in that? He talked about the 1-9. Who did the Charlotte Hornets beat? They beat Sacramento at Sacramento, 111-104 as a 15-point dog back on January 2nd. And for the Kings, they also lost to New Orleans the other night. Steam play. But still have won 3 of their last 4 games. They covered against Detroit, 131-110 to start this road trip. All right. There was some, let me see here. Check out the big steam moves here in this one anyway for the Kings and the Hornets. I don't know if it would necessarily sway my opinion anyways. I was just kind of deciding whether to go side or total necessarily in this one, but I will take the total to go under here with the Kings and the Hornets and go under 235-ish. I'm sorry, 232. 232. It opened as high as 235.5. We're down to 232.5, 231.5 right now at DraftKings. So yeah, this one's probably headed a little bit lower here. The first game, as I said, went for 215 points. So maybe that's the way this one will go, especially given Sacramento's tendencies on the road to go under. CTG's here today. Hello. Nice. And all right. Let's go next to the Timberwolves and the Celtics. Hello. This should be a good one here, certainly today with the Wolves and the Celtics. Man, this is a hot matchup right now with these two teams. Got Minnesota coming in 26-10. Boston comes in at 28-8. This is a highlight matchup here, certainly. Boston has won 5 straight games at home right now. Wins over Utah. They blew them out. They've been on the road, mostly coming into this one off of those 2 back-to-back games at Indiana. So come back here and get a shot at the Timberwolves, who just covered 3 of their last 10 games overall, and Boston has been getting the money. They're 11-6 now against the spread at home. They're also covered in 5 straight meetings at home here against the Timberwolves over the last several years. Total's also gone over in 8 of the last 11 meetings between these two and 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two in Boston. If you're interested in those type of things, Boston's been a big time over at home for the most part. Or, well, I should just say an over team, 20-16 to the over, but Minnesota 12-8 to the over on the road. They're also 6-3 to the over as an underdog this season. First meeting was in November at Minneapolis. The Timberwolves won that one, 114. 109 is a 3.5 point underdog. See what you guys have to say. Comments coming in this one between the Wolves and Celtics. All right. Here's Chad wants Boston in the first half. And Ray is on Boston in the first half as well. I want to say hello to Isaiah here today. He likes over 223 here. Oh boy, I don't know, Isaiah. I hope I don't end up against you, but I might. I might be playing the total here. Let's see. And Salty says scheduling situation here, but man, how do you look past playing one of the best teams in the league? I know it's maybe you don't care about the Western Conference, but you certainly are hosting one of the top teams here. Russell says Boston plus the points. And I think most interesting news here, let's see, I think Chad is saying, oh, that's the first half. Is that the first half line? Okay. Because right now at 7.5, it's up to 7.5 for the most part. I'm even seeing 8s right now in this one. So for me, look, Tatum is probable here. He was listed on the injured list. Porzingis, he's questionable. He's on the injured list as well. Jalen Clark continues to be on the injured list here for the Timberwolves. Let me at least update this here to the 7.5. But it's mostly, it feels like at this point, 8. Oh, I wanted to. All right. Anything else from you guys? I'll just make my call here. What's going to be on the under with Boston and Minnesota today? I'll go under 223. Just updated it there. mostly 223.5 actually, but I'll take under in this one. And we'll see how it rolls here. Widely reported steam did come in on Boston here at -7. So Sharps got a little bit of the best number. Okay. Yeah, right, Chad. Here. Oh, Terrell. Oh man. Okay, let me write it down. I'm gonna get that out here. It's in an archive on like a website. I don't even have a physical copy of it. I've always, well, I haven't showed it to too many people. I'm going to show it to you guys here. But thanks, Terrell. I'm gonna get on that. Maybe I'll just pop it in the Discord. But I'm gonna make a story out of it. Okay. All right. I think that's it for you guys. I'll take the under in this one. And probably maybe I have a premium pick. Did I give it away here? What I liked in the side? All right. 76ers on the road against the Hawks. And you have the Hawks here at home are favored, but the spread is moving definitely. I'm showing it down already to 1.5 here. Yeah, that means Embiid. I'm sure the obvious that he's going to be ready and available to play if we're having a move like this right now. I mean, we've seen him continue to be on the injured list quite a bit, but right now he's listed as out. So it is kind of interesting that this line has moved to 1.5. No indication, I would guess, that he was going to be back in this one, right? Did I miss the news on this? Now, Trae Young is probable tonight for Atlanta. He's on the injured list as well. Wesley Matthews questionable, Capella questionable for Philadelphia. Bob Cove, he's out. Korkmaz probable. Tobias Harris is probable. And Melton is questionable. So I don't know. It does seem interesting that this line continues to move to Philly without any indication that Embiid is going to be able to make it into the lineup here today. So I was fooled by the move. What is going on? All right. Fernando, don't give away the premiums here. All right. Chad likes the Sixers no matter what. He says the Hawks are terrible. Yeah, we continue to make fun of the Hawks. I mean, why not just make a living betting against the Hawks? The fix so says, I'm going to take Atlanta. This might be their spot here. No Embiid. Still Atlanta 2-12 against the spread at home. Are they counting these home spread losses double? Seems like that gets worse every game by more than a game. All right. Percent better's got his numbers up here. Philly's pretty much the best spread team around, aren't they? At 23-12, and Atlanta's 8-27 against the spread. Philly 19-7 against the spread as a favorite. Atlanta 5-13 against the spread as a dog. Yeah, it does feel like Atlanta would be kind of like the choke. Like maybe we could beat them. Nah, we won't beat them. So, all right. Well, maybe the trends might be of some value. We don't have Philly at full strength here. They beat Atlanta in 5 straight games and covered the spread in each and every one of them. So, Philly's had the better time of it, including 3 meetings already this season. They beat them by 14 at home, favored by just 1.5 in another game that I believe Embiid didn't play in. They beat Atlanta here on the road as a 1.5 point favorite. So a similar line, I guess, a near pick 'em back on November 17th. And the Sixers won 126-116 in that one, and Philly won 125-114 as an 8.5 point favorite, getting the money at home back on December 8th. Terrell says doesn't even matter without Embiid. Chad says the Hawks are just bad. I mean, right? We love to find teams that can't cover. They're 14-21, but when your spread record is worse than your one-loss record, I don't know. Those are kind of my favorite teams in a way, right? Hawks for Fernando, though. Hawks money line for Russell. These guys aren't afraid to take advantage maybe of the personnel situation. Total's gone over in 17 of Atlanta's last 20 games at home dating back to last season. They're also 11-3 to the over at home this season. Philadelphia 16-10 to the over as a favorite, 21-14 to the over overall. The widely reported steam came in on the over in this one, so seems like an over party almost. All right. And Terrell, he says the Hawks are overrated because of DeBarge. Feel the beat of the rhythm of the night. All right. Doing my Bobano songs here. Dre, good morning and hello. And Dre says 76ers and the points. I'll take the Sixers as well. Without Embiid, who wants to take Atlanta? Come on. Maybe I'd be the guy, right? I'm actually still, to a certain extent, I want to be open minded, give him 50% chance that I'm going to bet on him anytime. But I'm going to, if ever I'm going to look at a little, maybe trust a line move here and take 2.5. Maybe that might be the situation for me to do so. That's what it feels like. Take a line move that, the star's out and the line's moving in their favor. All right. I'm thinking about touching myself up here. I'm self-conscious about my lazy eye here. Oh, but whoops. Hello. Let me see if I can't touch myself up. Put on the strong filter here. Do I look younger, you guys? Did anybody notice that? All right, I might be able to tolerate that a little bit better today. I'm so self-conscious, right? All right. Okay, let's move on from this one. We got a long card here with the Thunder and the Heat. We're already halfway through it anyways. The Thunder on the road here, a favorite so it's not the best, not always where you want your Thunder to a certain extent, does it? They're 24-11 overall, and the Heat are 21-15. But you got to lay these points here on the road tonight with the Thunder. Against the Heat team. And by the way, Eric Spoelstra, guy who I certainly talk about a lot in here as a elite coach, certainly. Well, he's going to be paid like a player, pretty much, with his new 8-year contract that he just signed. Spoelstra getting the big money. He's being paid like a guy who comes in off the bench, $15 million or so a year, I think it came out to be. So good job, Spoelstra here. And now you're an underdog. Hey, how about that? Look, I get it. Oklahoma City's pretty good, but Miami's had some success in the dog role. They're just 8-8 this season as an underdog, but man, just doesn't feel right. They've covered 6 of their last 10. We know the Thunder are monsters against the spread, even 14-7 against the spread this season, 9-6-1 against the spread on the road. Oklahoma City's covered 5 of the last 6 trips here into Miami, including the one just, let's see. Oh, it was. Oh, okay. This is the first meeting of the season. I got confused looking at the list here on the computer. It said 110-23. That was, they played exactly 1 year ago today here in Miami. And Miami won 112-111. But Miami mention the Oklahoma City's covered 5 of the last 6 trips there into Miami, but the Heat have actually won 5 straight games over uh, over the Thunder. Again, this is the East-West matchup, so Miami's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. They're off of a win over Houston, 120 to 113 as a 4-point favorite. They've won and covered 2 of their last 3. They also beat the Lakers. They did lose to Phoenix on the road, 113 to 107, before bouncing back for that home win here over the Rockets. For the Thunder, they've failed to cover in 3 straight games right now, although they did just beat the Wizards 136 to 128 as an 11-point road favorite. So did miss on the road there. They also failed as a road favorite against Brooklyn. And before that, they failed as a road favorite against Atlanta. So basically, Thunder on this road trip so far, 3 games and 0-3 against the spread. Oklahoma City has gone over in 4 of their last 5 games and 8 of their last 10 games overall. Miami has gone over in 10 of 16 home games. And Oklahoma City's 13-7-1 to the over as a favorite. The widely reported steam did come in on the over at 234. Current line on this game is still 4.5, and total pretty much around 234, 234.5. Let's get your comments because you guys are clicking in on this one for sure, it looks like. And it starts with Dre. He went with the Thunder and under. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Tom Trewicki here today. Nice to see you, Tom. Pleasure to have you here. He's talking about one of the earlier games we were talking about. I think Thomas is on the under here. Terrell says he thinks they'll find their way to the under here as well. Right, and we have Russell says, give me Miami on the money line here. And Rob, hello to Rob today. He wants to know about Jimmy Buckets. Yeah, it might be nice to maybe go over any kind of key injury, but I'm just considering Butler to be out of this game currently with that foot problem. I think we would see a little bit tighter spread here if he was. Obviously, that probably be the case here. But also, Kyle Lowry is doubtful in this one. Caleb Martin, doubtful as well. Oklahoma City's got a pretty good injury report, actually, here. But I don't like to put much past our man, our newly minted man here in Coach Spoelstra. Byron says the Heat will eat. Fernando will lay it with the Thunder. And Chad says whenever you get that 5 game revenge factor, maybe it is something for the Thunder here. The great Mike says all year long, Thunder, Thunder, Thunder. I mean, they are the moneymakers after all, right? The Sharps are all over the Thunder in this game. I mean, it's going to be hard for me to even want to consider Miami. I want to because I trust Spoelstra at home and all that, but man, does feel like the Thunder is the right spot for me. So let me go ahead and take them. I'll lay the points here with the Thunder. Thomas also on the Thunder. And all right. Anything else? Let's see here from you guys. All right. Thomas says he's going to slow the pace down, take the points. All right. And I'll take the Thunder. I'll lay the points. I'm going to trust the Sharps here a little bit in this one. They've been laying the Thunder so far, not seeing much. There's a little bit of action on Miami, but They were going over early, and now they're coming back on the under. I wasn't necessarily too sure, but the widely reported steam did come in on the over at 234. I think I mentioned that. Let's move on and take a look at this one between Rockets and the Bulls. The Bulls at home here, favored by 4. And the total 216.5. This one just got hit just a few minutes ago as I was starting the NBA segment. It popped up here as a steam play to the under. So we're already seeing 216.5 out there at some spots. And the Bulls also are down to 3.5 at a lot of spots. So it looks like they're actually taking the Rockets here on the road a little bit with those points. Houston has won 5 of the last 7 trips here into Chicago, and they weren't exactly, world beaters over the last few years. But again, that's a little bit of a longer sample with West team coming in against an East team here in this one. Total's also gone over in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two. Chicago's gone under in 5 straight games at home, and also they've gone under in 8 of their last 9 games overall. The Rockets still continue to be a very good spread team with a 20-13-2 spread record, but just 6-7-1 on the road and 12-11 against the spread as an underdog. For the Bulls, they are 11-10 against the spread at home, but pretty much just a 50-50 proposition spread-wise for the most part. The Bulls have won 2 straight, both of them over the Hornets in a back-to-back home-and-home series. For Houston, they lost at Miami, of course, as we mentioned, but they did beat the Bucks before that at home as a 7-point dog, 112-108. They also got rocked, however, at home by the Wolves by 27 points as a 4-point dog. So we'll take your plays now and comments and see how you guys are rolling here in this one. Thomas says the Bulls will show out here. But Dre says, I like the Rockets here. And Fix says, this might be just the Bulls' day. Rob says, I can't trust these Rockets necessarily on the road. Yeah, I mean, again, young team, and they haven't really shown 6-7-1 against the spread on the road, so not awful. And interesting here, Terrell says they'll beat the Rockets at their own game. Okay, I can get with that. I think I can get with that a little bit here. Again, that steam coming in here pretty late, that under steam at, let me see, what was it at? At 216 that just came in like right as we were going on the air. I don't know if I'm that into it, actually. I think I'm going to take the Bulls here, though, lay the points at home, lay the 3.5 now, getting a little bit of value here. Fernando, I think here's his plays. I missed him. Sorry, Fernando. Okay, here it is. I think this is it right here. Rockets plus 3.5. Okay, thanks. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right. Couple more here in the NBA tonight. Start with the Pelicans and the Warriors. So we're starting to see now Draymond's near his return. The fact that this spread is what it is. Look, I don't think he's been quite ready yet, but man, it seems like any day now he will be activated. I believe he's all cleared. Maybe they're just and we've seen some things back and forth with him and KD a little bit, but it's all on Draymond at this point. I mean, no, you can't pull one over on anybody now. So we'll see when it gets here. The big question here, though, is Zion. He is questionable for this game with a leg injury. Alvarado is questionable with an illness. Chris Paul, you guys already talked about it. He's got a busted hand, it looks like, that's going to definitely sideline him for a while. And, well, I mean, I'm one of those good, no problem guys. Yeah, maybe Chris Paul's a guy you still won't need in there. You're paying him and everything. But uh, look, this Warrior team is not any good. And maybe Chris Paul is one of those guys, right? This team feels like it has absolutely no chemistry. Unfortunately, Klay Thompson plays without any confidence because he knows on the short end of his career, this is going to end abruptly for Klay. He's not going to be going out on his own terms necessarily. Looks like he'll just have to end up retiring here. I don't even know if he can get another year out of this, right? The way it looks right now for Klay. So it's a little bit depressing because he's been so good, but really hard to watch a little bit right now. And it leads to all kinds of inconsistencies for Steph as well. So just real tough the way things are going right now. These two teams met back on October 30th. New Orleans was the host in that game, but the Warriors won 130 to 102. Clubbed them in that one, and there'll be still good nights for the Warriors. I mean, with that type of talent, they're still going to have some good performances. Is tonight the night? Fernando's on the Pelicans, Thomas is on the under, and Thomas Bird's on the under, and Thomas Lewis is on the over. You know what they are? They're the Doubting Thomases, obviously. All right, I got jokes. Fernando goes under. Chad says Pelicans to fly in this one. And Byron Robertson likes the Pelicans as well. Yeah, Dre, it sucks. I mean, it sucks. It's unfortunate for the Warriors, and it doesn't. I don't think they can even get to the playoffs at this point. The way this thing's going, and I don't think Dre is going to come in and solve it either. So, all right, I'm probably going to have to side with Chad here and think that the Pelicans will win this one. I'll take them here. Widely reported steam came in on the over. And I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be a high-scoring game here between these two, it feels like. Yeah, maybe all those extra games, maybe it is, and they're getting old. You're right. This whole deal, you don't know. We don't know how this is affecting. Well, it's been a lot of games without Draymond, and he's definitely an enforcer, if you will. There's Thomas. He's going on Thomas Bird. He's going on the over. Yeah, Dom. Thanks, Dom. I just put on a 75% smoothing filter that's available on the software. So there you go. And you might have missed my Doubting Thomas's joke just a minute ago. All right. Siakam, he looked pretty decent. He looked pretty good last night. Siakam hit that buzzer beater last night. I think they'd already covered the spread, but all right. I'll take the Thunder in this one. Oh, the line is totally wrong there, by the way, right? Yeah. In fact, what we're seeing right now is, I don't know if I don't think there's been any kind of injury report, but I'm going to have to, other than what I just told you guys, right? But the Pelicans have moved to a 2-point favorite right now, Bovada at minus 115. I'm showing mostly 1.5 everywhere, but feels like to me this thing's going to move even a little bit more. So let me at least put it up there at -2, and I'll take the Pelicans. Give myself a little challenge here in this one. All right. That's it for that one. Let's talk about those Nuggies. against the Jazz here, favored on the road against them. What are that? What? Don't these people know about the Utah Jazz at this point? Okay, Denver, you're the greatest thing. You got Joker. Yeah, we saw you guys are talking about in the chat. Joker hitting that half court shot. Hey, you got off a good shot. In that one. But this is a Utah Jazz, man. This is a Jazz hands. They've been covering everything left and right. You got a Denver team 7-12 against the spread on the road this season. You got a Utah team 12-4 at home against the spread. They've covered 8 of their last 10. They've come a long way. The Utah Jazz, they guess who they passed in the standings this week? The Golden State Warriors. And they're on their way, man. Utah's going to be climbing the charts with this team. Great job, Utah Jazz. Now, look, they're still just 18-20, but considering where they were and the fact that this team, if they play this well, there's no reason why they couldn't climb back in and have a strong season here. No doubt. For Utah right now, I mean, part of their success has come here at home. They've won 5 straight games at home, but Denver, they've won 5 straight games on the road. But you know what happens when Denver comes into Utah? Utah wins 5 straight games. Utah has won at home against Denver. Yes, this Utah Jazz team and the one that hasn't really looked very much better than this one. Maybe those teams were maybe a little bit better, maybe not. The way Utah is playing right now, they've met once already so far this season, twice, right? So far this season, I want to say no. Well, they played at Denver back on October the 30th, 110-102. In that one, Denver won it as an 8.5-point favorite. So the Jazz actually got the money in that one. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under, including that one earlier this season. All right, take a look. Denver 7-11 to the under on the road. They're also 14-20 to the under as a favorite. And looks like Chad, I think he's taking the Jazz here. So is Dre. And Thomas has Jazz in his dreams. He's dreaming about, Thomas has a pair of John Stockton shorts that he wears around when the Jazz play. Everyone's on the Jazz. Does that mean Fernando is going to go? Fernando going to go Nuggies? But are the Jazz really want to say, like, what will be the public side tonight? Maybe I'm supposed to tell you guys, right? What will the public do? Because to me, the public was on, or I'm sorry, the Sharps definitely came in on the Jazz, but it does look like there is some take back a little bit on the Nuggets. I think there is going to be some sharp action maybe coming on the Nuggets. So, well, maybe Fernando. I don't know, but they are the champs. Is that what you mean, Fernando? R. Tom's on the Nuggets here. Okay. And Chad says he's been on the Jazz. So, I mean, you got to think that, Jazz have a pretty big shot here in this one. I mean, yeah, Dre, right? But still, you look at the effort that they put forth to coming back to winning that game when Joker hit that shot, right? I mean, that was it was a massive comeback in that game. Remember, right? The Warriors, they were way ahead, and the Nuggets came back, and the Warriors were kind of choking that. And of course, what happened after that is the Nuggets came back home and lost at home to the Magic. Then they went ahead and covered at Detroit. All right. For me, I'm going to be on the over here in this one with the Nuggets and the Jazz. The widely reported steam did come in on the widely reported steam did come in here on the under at 238.5, but I'm going to go over in this one. Nuggets favored, yeah, 7, and now down to 237.5. So, hey, I'm getting a pretty good number. All right, you guys, thanks a lot. Thomas says I've got the under, looks like. One last game here in the NBA. It's the Raptors on the back-to-back. They'll get over it. Yeah, they were had allowed 23 free throws in the fourth quarter. They didn't allow it, but you know what happened against the Lakers? The Lakers went to the line 23 times in the fourth quarter, and the Raptors went to the line 2 times in the fourth quarter. Yesterday or something like that, they said, and the Lakers were able to get the victory last night against the Raptors, and the Raptors were pretty bent out of shape about it. And maybe they had a right to be a tight game down the stretch, certainly won by the Lakers 132-131. Eventually, felt like the Raptors were going to get the money there at the end, even though they kind of, like I said, Siakam buried a 3-pointer to make it a 1-point game. They were down 4, but the spread was mostly 4.5. So they were probably still going to get the money. Nonetheless, they were going for the win. And I was on a show where one of the panelists had a pretty big bet for one of the 4-figure bet on the Raptors. So a little bit of heartbreak there. Clippers have won 10 of their last 11 games at home. They've won 6 of their last 7 games overall. Total's gone over in 6 of Toronto's last 7 games and over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. But the Clippers, they're back to being the Clippers at home, really. Last year, we consistently were talking about Clippers going under at home, and that's exactly where they're at right now, pretty much. 6-12-1 to the under at home. Toronto's the opposite. So you have to determine, how you see this one. I would think Toronto's gone over in 8 of their last 10 games overall, and they're 12-7 to the over on the road. These two teams have not met yet so far this season. Toronto, of course, coming off that game last night, but before that, this is the 5th game of this road trip, and now we're on the back-to-back here against the Clippers that have been covering numbers, no doubt about it. Now, they did get shocked by the Lakers the other night as a 4.5-point favorite as the Lakers stopped that skid, but other than that, it's been pretty much all win and covers for the Clippers. They're 11-8 against the spread at home this season. They're also pretty strong as a favorite. They're 18-11 against the spread as a favorite. Your comments are coming in on this one. And let's see what we got here. All right. Hey, Mike. Oh, Mike, hello. Oh, so good to see you, my brother. Great to see you. We'll get to hockey in just a minute, my friend. I hope you can stick around, but it's really good to see you. I almost want to give you the play here that I was going to go with in case you can only stop by, but I'm going to try to keep the format of the show. Man, it's great to have you comment here. I always complain to everybody, Mike, I say, I run the show on my personal Facebook and nobody watches. They always, people pop up and like, hey, where you been? They don't even know I've moved to Las Vegas or anything like that. Here's Mike. All right. All right, a few more notes here for you here. I know Mike stopped by, I think, once or twice before. Thanks, brother. Fernando on the Raptors here. I don't know if that's the case, Russell. It'd take a lot of conspiracy theory at this point to get the Lakers anywhere in contention. All right, hey, well, I'll make the call here in this one so we can get going. Maybe we can get to that hockey before Mike has to do what he has to do on the day. Maybe he's out on a fishing boat right now. I know that's what he'd be loving to do. All right, let me give my play here with Denver and with the Raptors and the Clippers, of course. Why the reported steam did come in on the over in this one at 235.5, but man, I'm not sure I'm too into it at this point. Oh no, let me make sure I get that right. It wasn't 230. Yeah, 230. Yeah, 235.5, and now we're up to 236.5. I have 237.5 there on screen, but well, circa's still 237.5. Yeah, I think it is mostly 237.5s out there right now. This has got to be one of the tougher games for me, I would think, but I'm going to trust the Raptors to get this money. That's a lot of points, man, here. And I'm still going to kind of say the Clipper, even though they've covered these big numbers. I'm going to take the Raptors here. Thomas says he'll take them as well. Give me him plus the double digits. All right, that's a look at the NBA. Here, Dre, what are you playing? Are you playing Chinese basketball again without me? Let's move on. I do have to cover, if Mike's sticking around, I'm gonna cover 5 college basketball games really quick, my friend, if you got time to stick around. But then I'll get to that hockey card. Just 3 games on the ice today. And what I've done is I've selected one game from each of the kind of the major conferences, and maybe if you have something else you have in mind, we can touch on it as well. I know that we had one comment about the early game between Green Bay and IUPU, and maybe we can give a pick out on that one. But man, we skipped them one time before, didn't we? Because they are so bad. Don't want to see any game between IUPUI and Detroit Titans at this point. All right, here we go with the college basketball. Like I said, I've selected just maybe the best game from each conference here today. Pretty big card, certainly, no doubt about it, with a lot of this action. Let me start it off here with Tennessee traveling here to take on Mississippi State. And Mississippi State's won 8 of their last 9 home games, but Tennessee has kind of owned this series of late. They've won 5 straight meetings between these two teams and covered 4 out of the last 5. Mississippi State has gone over in 4 of their last 5 home games coming into this one. I don't know if you guys are too hot on some of these college games. Like I said, I try to prepare and be ready for the top games if you can. I know we don't come with a predetermined schedule, I guess. Mississippi State 8-6 against the spread this season to go along with that 11-3 straight up record. Tennessee is also 11-3 straight up, but just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. Mississippi State been a pretty solid under of this season. They are 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10 games. We mentioned these recent home games over, but they're still 3-5-1 to the under overall. Tennessee 7-5 to the over as a favorite here. They are a 1-point favorite still, if I'm not mistaken. I'll just check, make sure here they haven't gone up much higher. Oh, they are -2, total 139. So Tennessee here now a 2-point favorite at MSU. All right. There we go. All right. For me in this one, I think I can only look in one direction. I will take the under here in this one with Tennessee and Mississippi State. I will go under the 139. After all, Mississippi State at home. I like this one to be an under. Anything from you guys here? Thank you. And okay, now Ted Fernando's on Tennessee. Ninja, hello to Ninja. And he says, look, he says, uh, open 141, drop to 139, still a value on the under. I say no, it's still again, and I don't mean I'm not sliding it. I'm still going under, but I want to be honest with Ninja. And some people will still say the value's on the under. I like the under. The value's on the under. Now, if their numbers say that the game is 135, they can say the value is on the under. I state that in my world on our little show here, the value, if it was 141 and it's now 139, I don't think that's value. Do I still like the under? Yeah, I'm going under in the game, and I'm chasing a little bit of steam here, it feels like, and I'm not getting the best of it. That's just the way I call it. I call value is in relation to the best realistic available price that maybe I could have had. And if I didn't get the best price, it's kind of like going to the store and the price went up. All right, let's take a look now at Clemson here taking on Virginia Tech. Hokies at home in this one where they've won 11 of their last 12 games at home. Virginia Tech looking pretty decent here, certainly at home right now with this little run that they're on. But again, early in the season, playing a lot of, um, you know, lesser teams, if you will, in this spot. Clemson's covered for their last 5 games on the road. They're a favorite here by 1.5, total 144.5 for the most part. Clemson is 6-4 against the spread their last 10 games. Virginia Tech 6-4 against the spread at home. Talk about all those wins, and they are 7-0 at home straight up this season. Mentioned 11-1 does date back to last year. Clemson's 11-5 overall, but 8-6 against the spread. Virginia Tech straight up 9-5, 6-8 so far against the spread. Clemson's gone over in all 5 of their road games so far, but Virginia Tech's been a pretty solid under. I mentioned the 5 straight home games have gone under. They're 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games overall. So if you have anything here for Clemson and Virginia Tech, just a pretty good matchup, close game certainly here in the ACC. Maybe there's some better teams playing. I didn't pick the North Carolina State game. We had some Carolina previews recently, so let's see if anything for you guys here in this one. Fernando says, give me Clemson and the over. All right, that looks like maybe it for you guys here in this one. All right. Yeah, for me, the contrast I think there of the two teams, totals wise, might have me a little bit gun shy. Clemson won last year's meeting here, 68-65, as a 6.5-point dog, and then they won at home, 51-50, as a 1.5-point favorite. So they failed on that occasion. So, this one's actually a little bit tough for me, but I'm going to go ahead and side with Clemson to get this win and cover on the road here. Ninja does say, though, when you get these teams, when you have the unranked team, this is a very solid pattern, no doubt about it. So I'll talk it up for Ninja the way I should, even though I'm going to lay the points with Clemson here opposite him. Very, very popular thing to follow is ranked teams on the road in conference against an unranked team. And he's taking Virginia Tech money line here. All right, Wisconsin at Ohio State in this one. You have Ohio State favored -1.5. And total here 137. Pretty big move to the under here. Well, I got to probably agree with it. We'll see. I think it's probably going to be my play on this game, but we'll talk about the game a little bit and see if you guys have anything in this one. Of the Bucks at home here against Wisconsin. Ohio State has won 5 straight games at home. Right now, they've also gone over in 6 of their last 8 games at home. However, 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams in Columbus have gone under the total, and Wisconsin has gone under in 6 of their last 7 road games, albeit uh, some of those games do date back to last year for the Bucks. Sorry, for the Badgers on the road. So the Badgers so far this season have played just 4 true road games, I think, or 4. Let me see if I have it here. They've gone over for the most part. I will say that Wisconsin 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. Ohio State, let me see if that's right. Wisconsin 4-6 to the under in their last 10 games. They are 1-3 to the under on the road. Ohio State 8-3 to the over at home. That's the contrast that I was talking about between these two teams as far as it relates to the total. Ohio State's 5-10 against the spread so far this season. Not great numbers here, including 4-10 as a favorite. They did win their only opportunity as an underdog, if that matters, but 3-8 against the spread at home for Ohio State. Just a matter of usually laying too many points. In fact, they didn't cover in their conference game against Rutgers, 76-72 as a 7.5 point favorite. And before that, of course, they lost their last game on Saturday against Indiana in a 71-65 loss as a 1 point favorite in Bloomington. Also, Ohio State failed to cover at home against West Virginia in a non-conference game, 78-75 as a 9 point favorite. For Wisconsin, they come in with a 4-game winning streak, including conference wins over Nebraska and Iowa at home. They covered both of those games. Ohio State right now just 2-2 in conference with that loss to Indiana. They also lost to Penn State back on the 9th of December. For Wisconsin, they come in with a perfect 3-0 mark right now in conference. Not only the wins over Iowa and Nebraska, but they open the season with a win at Michigan State, 70-57. So a good start for the Badgers right now. All right. I'm going to look to make the call here on game number 725 and 726, Wisconsin and Iowa. And I'm going to look to go under here in this one at 137. The game's already on the move. I've already missed 2.5 points. So it's not going to go on my premium card now. I'm going to have to give it out as a free play here on the show. I like it under. Wisconsin, maybe the better team right now. They're 11-3 straight up. Ohio's 12-3 straight up. Whatever Ohio State's problems are, maybe those were easy games, certainly, but still, 2 losses coming on the road so far. Maybe they'll get it right at home. I'll go under. Lucky Power, hello, nice to see you. Here's Thomas Lewis on Wisconsin. Perky wants that first game. He wants that first game. We'll do it. We'll do it. Or I'll pick it anyway. You pick it. All right, let's get through 2 more. Let's go to Connecticut and Xavier in this one. You got UConn on the road here, a 4.5 point favorite. And the total at 145. Maybe 145.5 now, it looks like. Maybe this one has moved up just a tad. All right. In this one, you have Xavier here at home. They've won 21 of their last 25 games overall. They've also gone over in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. Last season, they split the series. They both won. No, XU won them both. XU won them both. They won at home 83-73. They also won at UConn 82-79. Xavier comes in so far 4-1 against the spread as an underdog and 6-3 against the spread at home. Connecticut 9-6 against the spread, often favored. Certainly, they've won 3 straight. They're coming off of a win at Butler, 88-81, back on Saturday. I want to say that one might have been on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. 88-81. Connecticut won at Butler as a 5.5-point favorite. Before that, they rocked DePaul by 29 as a 23.5-point favorite. They beat St. John's in a conference game, although they did not cover the spread. They held St. John's, interestingly, to 65 points, and St. John's certainly has been scoring some points now with Pitino. He's got kind of an interesting game today. I didn't preview it here, but Pitino's got kind of a high-profile matchup, maybe the biggest one so far for the Johnnies and their resurgence here as they play Providence. But getting rolling in these conference games, man, St. John's starting to put up some points here. Maybe they don't have much defense. They'd like to, but I don't know if they have a choice at this point. All right. For Connecticut and Xavier, what do you have here? Like I said, 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams also have gone over. And maybe you guys aren't too excited here with this one. So maybe I could just make a play with Connecticut and Xavier here. All right. This one's pretty tight, man, actually, for me in this one, but I'll probably end up on the under here with these two teams. I mean, like I said, Xavier, they're 1-4 to the under as an underdog, and Connecticut is 2-4 to the under on the road. Two-way action, it looks like, from the Sharps. Let me see if they hit this one. Yeah, I think we'll just roll with this one we'll just roll under here with Connecticut and Xavier. One more I'm going to look at here right now, and it's going to go out to the Big 12. And let's take a look with Oklahoma taking on TCU. TCU has won 9 of their last 11 home games coming into this one, but Oklahoma has owned this series for the most part, winning 16 of the last 21 meetings between the two teams. However, TCU has won 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two teams. Oklahoma won the last meeting at home, but the last game here at TCU was a blowout. Last January, TCU won 79-52, winning the first meeting between the two teams last year. Oklahoma did come back to win at home, 74-60. Total has gone under in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. Not much to say as far as trend-wise over under for these teams so far this season, although TCU has gone under in 3 straight games, including their last one, an 83-81 loss at KU on Saturday. They were a 9.5-point dog in that one. As far as Oklahoma is concerned, they come in on a 3-game winning streak, having beat Iowa State on Saturday, 71-63, as a 2-point favorite. Before that, they won games against Monmouth and Central Arkansas, but couldn't cover a big number. We're dealing with a little bit of different situation here back in conference with a tightly contested game at 3.5 points, and you have TCU coming in, having lost that first conference game against KU. Oklahoma comes in at 1-0. There are some 2-0 teams already in the Big 12. Baylor, what we saw last night, with their win over BYU to improve to 2-0. Texas Tech improved to 2-0, and Kansas State with their win at West Virginia improved to 2-0 as well. So real interesting standings right now, certainly in the Big 12. Of course, and we saw Houston, of course, lose last night as well. So interesting results, certainly. All right. Sorry to delay. Let me get your comments on this one. And what do we have? We've got, hey, I want to say hello to Kenny Jackson in the chat today. I don't know if we talk about this game or that game, but thank you, Kenny. And you guys are catching up with me here a little bit with the Xavier play. Thank you. Here's Thomas Lewis on Oklahoma today. And Poppy's bringing us a play in college ball. Thank you. And Denny Crumb's grandson is here today, of course, as always. Hello, Crumb. Nice to see you. All right. Did I make the pick? Did I make myself clear on what I was going to do in the Oklahoma TCU game? All right. In this one, I've got another under here at one. I don't even think it's 151 anymore, is it? It's 147, man. Of course, we're going under. We've already missed all these 4 points. Oh man, you got to get up pretty early in the morning to get the best line over me. And I'll take under 147. Got to update it here though. Be fair about it. And this spread also, TCU is up to a 5-point favorite. So big move here on TCU and the under in this one today. Wow. All right. Take a look maybe at one more game for Perky. Hello, Kenny says go under here. All right, we'll take off the graphic and we'll go, though, to that first game. Let's see if we can get it right with Wisconsin, Green Bay, and IUPUI. It is at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, an hour and 10 minutes away on this one today, with Green Bay coming in 9-8, and IUPUI, they're coming in with a 5-12. 5-12 mark. That's pretty good. And this one opened as low as 5.5. I saw 5.5. FanDuel opened 6.5. They're now up to 8.5. Green Bay seems to be really on the move here in this one now. 8.5 and 134. Ooh. That doesn't feel real comfortable. I mean, you'd think Green Bay should be able to handle these guys even on the road. Is it getting a little bit in the danger zone spread-wise? I don't know if it is. It certainly doesn't feel comfortable laying 8.5, but I mean, I think it's the only way that I can go in this game. Now, there is some sharp action here. Let me see if I can at least recite it. By the way, so yeah, in fact, you'll find the under in this game. Anybody go over the Discord, the link is in the chat there at the very start of the show. Go to the Discord, and I do have all the early overnight Steam plays from Don Best in there, what's been determined. You'll see all these games, for the most part, I would say 80 to 90% of them will have already moved. You've missed the best line, but it will indicate to you, maybe you could look at an odd screen and you can find the line moves, but it doesn't necessarily show what makes a line move a Steam play unless you look at this list. Now, I don't think it catches everyone, but by definition of the 2 major line services, a Steam move is in when one book moves first and all other books move accordingly in succession to that initial line move, either with additional action on a coordinated play, sometimes even a line service. I mean, a sports handicapping service can release a play. There are a couple that are known for being able to move the line on their plays. Poppy can comment and attest to this. We've seen it in action. We've described it in action plenty of times, Poppy and I, on air. So, really, that's what a steam move is, and that's what I put there in the Discord. Those steam moves, like I said, it's one book moves, and then they all kind of follow at the same time. It's a coordinated move. Sometimes can be tracked via a big injury report as well. All right. Anyway, the under was the big steam move in that game. I'm not necessarily sold on that. I'm going to go ahead and lay these points with Green Bay. I am not very pleased with IUPUI. It does feel very uncomfortable. I couldn't have laid 5.5, but I could have laid 6.5. I think if I would have been into it or into wanting to take Green Bay. I just don't know if I wanted them huge here. I'll get on them. All right. What do you guys like? Poppy maybe likes the under. That steam came in on the under. Green Bay, they just got to win, right, Byron? And now you want them to cover 8.5. But IUPI does look pretty bad. All right. And Crumb, I do try to put a couple of extra picks in there every day. If we get a little more traction, especially in college basketball, I'd love to put more in there. I did put one winner in there yesterday. You guys, right? Want to tell you? I might even try to tell you what it was. It was Texas. I put Texas in the Discord yesterday as a winner. Yesterday, so I'm gonna take Green Bay. Enjoy the game, Perky. You there? Did you make a pick? Because I'm gonna move on to the hockey. Thanks, you guys. Because if Mike's here, he's probably left me by now. But I do want to talk these 3 hockey games today. And hey, did we have a good day in hockey? I'll say we had a good day in hockey yesterday. We gave out the Grand Salami, and I thought it went over pretty easy in a way. Yeah, it only got to 66 goals or something like that. We might only got it by a couple, but once they got to 63 goals and the other game was 3-3, we knew we had won. So we had winners yesterday with the Canucks yesterday. We also had the Blue Jackets and the Jets under. We had the Calgary Flames premium winners here yesterday for me, sweeping the board. As part of my 11-2 day, don't forget. And we also had free show winners here with the Kraken, with that impressive win for the Kraken. We had the Lightning yesterday. We had the Sharks and the Leafs over. We had the Canucks and the Islanders over. We had the Ducks and the Predators. Did we win every game here? Senators, Flames over. Almost won them all yesterday. There were a couple losers, but I think we're ready here for some hockey picks after that. It's been a while since we could brag a little bit about some big winners. All right. Let's take a look at the Canadians and the Flyers here in this one. I'll fire up the goalie computer. We better on this one, but it does feel like we may get the backups here today. In this. Hey, I want to just. Looks like. Oh nope. Let's just go to the hockey. I was gonna recite some steam, but it wasn't. I don't think it was very good steam. I'll determine which steam is good around here. All right. Canadians and Flyers here in this one. Flyers $1.75, 6.5 under at minus $1.25 for the most part. But I'm starting to see some sixes out there right now for sure. Philadelphia has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games, but Montreal has been a dead solid over of late. They've gone over in 7 of their last 8 overall. Montreal has played tough against Philadelphia. They've covered the puck line in 5 straight. These two teams have not met yet, though, so far this season. So maybe we'll see. But last meeting here was last March. Philadelphia won 3-2. Montreal also won here last year 5-2. In fact, they've won 2 of the last 3 meetings and 3 out of the last 5 meetings with Philly. And like I said, all of them pretty close games that Montreal has been covering the puck line here 5 straight times at Philly. So, Poppy, we just went over Perky, we just went over the noon game. Where were you? All right. Anything here on this one? Nothing. You guys don't play any hockey with me today with Montreal? My Canadians and my other favorite, well, actually, they're my team that I love to, I don't know, bag on a little bit here. I'm always pulling for the Flyers. I mean, having been to so many, if you watched a show last night, I was on the show talking about all my trips to go see the Flyers play the Ducks all the time and how I had fun going to see that game for several years in a row. Timmy Two Shoes as he sees a regulation draw here in this one. Byron Robertson is on Montreal. Look at Art Tomps. He's got a new emoji here. He's got a heart. He loves the Niners, I guess is what that is. All right. I'm going to take the Habs. Come on. Give me the Habs in this one, plus a goal and a half. They'll hang in there with the Flyers, won't they? I'll take Montreal. Mike's on the Flyers. Trey's leading Philly. This one doesn't have anybody too excited, I guess. Got a broken windshield special in that one. Here's the Wild and the Stars. You got the Stars. Pretty big favorite here. The Wild's been struggling a little bit right now. The Stars are going to be about minus $1. Man, it might even be $2 at this point. Was as low as $1.80, I think, but now we're pushing close to $2. 6.5 under 20, maybe even 6.5 under 25 at this point. Dallas and Minnesota. This is a TNT game tonight. Dallas has played. They always are tough against the Wild right now. Dallas won the first meeting 2 nights ago, or the last meeting 2 nights ago, 4-0. Dallas won this one on the road. They also won 8-3 at Minnesota back on November the 12th. They split the first 2 meetings this season. Dallas won at home 6-1 on September 26th, and back on October 7th, it was 4-0. The Wild won at home. So I don't know how far back we can go on some of these. That doesn't make sense. Did I get that date right? All right. Anyways, in this one, total's gone over in 5 straight home games here for Dallas right now. They're 17-4 to the over at home this season. It's just been uncanny. All these games are high scoring. You look at a team like Minnesota, they've gone 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10 games, but they are 10-6-2 to the over on the road. So they actually have a little bit higher scoring games on the road. They've lost that 4-0 game, of course, against Dallas. Before that, they did beat Columbus 4-3, but before that, they were on a losing streak. So it's just been real tough here for the Wild at 17 wins at this point. 17, 18-2. Dallas comes in obviously much stronger right now, 23-11-4. They did have a 3-game losing streak going before they beat Minnesota in that game 4-0. So before that, they had lost to Nashville, Colorado, and Montreal, all at home. So that was a little bit of a tough stretch for Dallas. All right, get your comments and picks here, if anything, on this one. And did I say that? Dallas won, right? Dallas won 4-0 at Minnesota. That's what I don't know. Maybe I could have said it wrong, but I will correct myself. That Dallas won the last game 4-0 at Minnesota. All right. Dre says he likes Dallas in this one. I think Mike likes the over here. Wild just going bad here, it feels like. Yeah. Salty says give me Dallas team total over at home. Okay. And anything else? All right. I think you guys, yeah. I don't see anything else from you guys here in this one. I don't know if I'm totally impressed at this point by either side. Let's see. I don't know what this means, Mike. 23, 11, and 4. That is Dallas's record. Dallas 2-4 is now 3-4. I'll take your word for it. I'll go under in this one with the Wild and the Stars. It's 6.5. I feel like it's going to go down here. It's already 6.5 under 25. I'm sure this one's going to end up going a little bit lower. Give me the under here. Wild and the Stars. R. Tomps on the under. Finally, it's the Bruins here and the Coyotes. No, that's wrong. That was last night. And what a game that was last night. Here's the one we were talking about, and Mike's been waiting for. What a jerk I am. The last game of the show. Guy comes in, haven't seen him in years, wants one pick, and it's the last pick on the show, but it's also the last game on the card here between VGK and Colorado. Colorado at home, $1.45. I think the storylines here are going to be kind of favored, skewed, if you will, in Colorado's favor. I mean, Vegas definitely struggling here a little bit, having won just 3 of their last 10 games, and Colorado going 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. They're 17-5 at home this season, and you got a Vegas team certainly with some vulnerability coming in right now, having slipped behind. I mean, who knows who else have they slipped behind teams like Winnipeg here. The Kings have been back in their slump, so maybe you can say, hey, Colorado has earned the right to be back up there. They're probably still ahead of the Kings to a certain extent, but the Kings were playing so well here. I kind of at this price want to play the Knights, quite frankly. It's probably Knights and or over for me. Look at these two teams. Knights 11-9 to the over on the road. That's not necessarily a big trend, but they are 3-7 to the under in their last 10. Colorado 14-8 to the over at home. They're also 24-17 to the over overall. I mean, look at the series they played back in November, of course, and Vegas won that one 7-0 at home. They also won at home on October the 5th, 4-3. So back turnaround here in Colorado. And you look at this series. I mean, Colorado, they still have won 8 of their last 9 games straight up at home. They're, like I said, 17-5 still at home. Total's gone under in 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams, and 5 straight games here in Colorado. But I'm going to go over in this one. I don't think I see it. The total itself, I don't know, feels like kind of the giveaway for me at 6.5 here. I'll take the over in this one. All right. Anything from you guys in this one? We'll get out of here. Appreciate you stopping by today. Byron's on Colorado. Mike's also a doubting Thomas. And Timmy said he likes the over 2, maybe the goaltending here. Just real quick, like I said, I didn't even look back on it with 3 games, but Primo and Urson in the Canadiens Flyers game, that is definitely the confirmed goal. Look at Mike with the avalanche, or well, the mountain, but I mean, you could consider that the avalanche emoji here. Minnesota, we'll see. You saw the matchup on screen that we had listed with Fleury and Wedgwood. We don't know yet, but Minnesota could be going down to yet a third string or goalie here, and Matt Murray could be back in there for the Stars. Maybe he just posted a shutout in his fourth career game for Matt Murray, so maybe Murray will get another chance in goal with the Stars. And in this one, Hill and Gorgiev in that last one. Could be Hill, could be Thompson. We're not sure yet, but maybe I've seen a site now start to list Hill, so we'll see about that. All right, it's going to do it for me here on the Morning Steam. Unless I hope I didn't miss a college basketball request from you guys, but I want to say thank you to everyone who stopped in here today on the show. And we'll just try to mention a few of them if we can. Thank you so much. Hello to Poppy. Yes, hello. Poppy, moving lines here with the UFC. Hey, I did preview. Poppy knows what I'm talking about. Did do my UFC preview this week with my podcasting partner, my content partner, VB. We can mention him here on this show, but check me out on YouTube with my MMA analyst. He does the picks. I'm just the host, right, Poppy? And Poppy's on there. Poppy, often an analyst. He's kind of our go-to guy, of course, when those Dagestanis are in action. So thank you always, Poppy, and appreciate you. But check out my MMA podcast with my number one handicapper, VB, here on YouTube. You can find it. Type in my name, type in VB, type in MMA. Guarantee you'll find it, Kenny, if you heard that. So I don't want to shout it out too much here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut. Appreciate you guys so much. Mike and Salty and Dre and Thomas Lewis and Byron and Kenny and Poppy and Art Thompson, Mike, of course, and Crumb out there today as well. Lucky Power was here. Fernando and Perky today. Who else was here? Ninja was here today. Terrell was here. Dre, Russell, Fernando, Thomas Bird, Mike Hernandez. Can dig it with the best of them out there. Chad, of course, with his plays. Thank you so much for everything, Chad. We'll be together soon, I know. And Dom was here today. Said I looked good after I touched it up. All right, Terrell, Fix was here today. He was saved by zero. Russell was here today. Ray Otachi, who I saw last night in a chat room, Ray was here. Thanks, everybody. I think that'll do it. Rob Reeder as well. Thank you so much. Isaiah % better. Timmy Two Shoes. How could I forget? Billy McDonald, Billy Mack was here today. CTG stopped by. Just great. Appreciate everybody every day for coming in here. Hope I got to them all. Blake, of course. Gerardo, of course. Jason, the Roll Tide guy. Peasy. I'll try to throw in some more Eurobasket steam here, I think. The other Grayson was here as well, it looks like. All right. I think I got them all. Justin McElvey. Can't forget Justin. He had his plays as well. Thanks, everybody. All right. Hope that was it. Stephen Downey. That's it. That's it. Over. Thanks, everybody. Join me here tomorrow. More Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.
NC number 4, Ramon Scott. He knows knows about poker. He's a dealer.
Can it be showing up with Tony T? Yes, Ramon SEO. To the double TV funnel and these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning scheme is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.